I think other guests on your podcast have said this, marketing is really like selling yourself. And I don't really see it as selling myself. I see it as more of like sharing parts of myself.
Right,
like
your authentic you, like you said.
The parts of myself that really value why I'm running this business.
Hello and welcome to this episode of the Ask Valor Masterminds podcast, brought to you by A Advanced Services, Fuse Networks, and Warrior Injury Law. My name is Galen.
I'm Joe.
We're coming at you from the Creative Block Studios in Seattle, Washington. So Joe, before we introduce our guest and have a nice cocktail on this summer afternoon, can you tell everyone how our podcast started, please?
Sure. So it first started out as a Facebook group page, which the purpose was to bring business owners together into one spot to kind of ask questions, brainstorm, kind of help each other out in business. Because we own a marketing company, Valor Marketing, we get asked a lot of questions outside of marketing about running a business. So we thought what a better way and kind of a selfish way would be to bring on different guest speakers to talk about all topics relevant for business owners.
Awesome. And we are lucky to have a guest in studio. Gracie, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Could you please introduce yourself to our audience and tell us a little bit about yourself and your business, please?
Absolutely. My name is Gracie Santos. I started Grayseas Pies back in 2020 during lockdown. And then I also co-founded the Palengke National with my business partner at the time, Jennifer Johnson. And yeah, I think both of those projects are really community driven. And I'm very excited to talk more about that.
So for Gracie's Pies, can you tell us what kind of pies that you like to specialize or to make and create for everyone here?
Yes, I like to really focus on Filipino-American flavors. So thinking about traditional Filipino dishes and putting my spin on that and making it Filipino-American, because I think even just putting a Filipino flavor in a pie is just already fusion. I'm not really scared of that word. I know some chefs are. I'm not a chef, but like some people are. And so I like to do like chicken adobo pot pie, ube macapuno, calabasa when I can, cassava blanca. And I think that I really try to do whatever is seasonal. But at the same time, I still do the classics. I still do like experimental flavors where, I did a Girl Scout cookie inspired series when I first started, and basically whatever I want to do, whatever I want to try, hopefully everyone else wants to try and appreciate.
What are your, I'm sure you have like favorites or best sellers. What do people always want that you can't take off the menu almost?
What other people want? I think it's really the chicken adobo pot pie. I think too, ube macapuno is always a favorite. And I can't always do ube because I want to use the actual tuber when it's in season. And I think others are the classics, like apple, pecan. I sometimes try to do a twist on that and use like local miso from Yoka Miso. But yeah, classics and Filipino flavors. I recently did a pinakbet galette, which I really love.
What's that?
And
so it's if you're a Ilocano, that's because that's my dish that means a lot to me. It's like a vegetable stew dish cooked in like shrimp paste, typically with a little bit of pork. And the main vegetables are my favorite: squash, ampalaya, which is bitter melon, eggplant, sometimes green beans, lima beans. There could be variations. Squash flowers are one of my favorites, but that's what pinakbet is. So having a pie is something I'm signing up for. Because
I could put like a squash blossom on top as like a garnish. I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
Thank you. But pinakbet is really great. And the hard part is getting people to try it if they're not already so adventurous, because there's shrimp paste. I think a lot of people are deterred by like, oh, it's fishy or
You've heard of bagoong, right?
Yeah,
So that's that shrimp paste.
It's the
strong
pink one, the alamang bagoong. And so I try to do things like that. I've done like champorado galettes. I've done, I'm really trying to bring Filipino flavors into the mainstream, because like Filipino food should be popular. Like that should be one of the, it should be a main option when people think like, oh, what should I eat right now? What should we order in tonight? And it's like, Filipino should be one of those options that people think of, aside from like Chinese, Italian, like everything else.
Right.
So I don't remember what the question is anymore, but
well, I think
what
now
other people like.
Yeah, your favorites,
So
but
it's like I think what essentially is whatever is my favorite, I will make and see if it becomes other people's favorites.
Awesome.
So it really stems from like what I want to try and what I want to eat.
Is there anything that you've made that hasn't worked out or would not sell because of whatever reason?
No.
well,
I feel like there's always somebody that's gonna like it. Okay. Either if it's, even if I think it's too sweet, like take for example the red velvet cheesecake pie, that is not my favorite. I don't like that.
But other people love it.
But other people love it. And I have like close friends being like, oh, this is the best pie you've ever made. I'm like, what? No. But to each their own. And like, as long as whatever I'm doing or developing or sharing is resonating with other people, like that's mission accomplished.
So let's get to know you a little bit more. So what are some early lessons learned as an entrepreneur? Because you had mentioned, I think off camera, that you had started your business during the pandemic. So it was a pandemic-born business. But what are some early lessons learned as an entrepreneur?
So I think one of the first lessons I learned as an accidental entrepreneur, and we can talk about that later, but the first thing I learned is that you should not be afraid to put yourself out there, and basically reaching out to everyone in your network who is doing what you're doing or has been doing what you're doing for a long time, and really trying to glean that information and experience and knowledge from other people who have already done it and are successful. And I think the worst thing that can happen when you reach out to somebody like a really successful chef or baker is that the worst thing that can happen is that they say no.
Right.
And that goes with like meeting up for coffee to ask like how they got started, asking for advice, or asking to do a collaboration. Like maybe they say no.
Yeah.
Right.
But what if they say yes? You know what I mean? So I think that was probably the earliest lesson for me.
Nice.
So what about being in business 5 years? You probably had some people mentor you. What's been the best piece of advice that you've been given?
I think one of the best pieces of advice was to stay true to yourself. So basically, like, be authentic, and the people who align with you and want to support you will.
That's awesome.
And yeah, that has really stuck with me. I think even before though, I even thought to turn this into a business. I used to work at Applebee's in New York very briefly. And one of the C-level people came in to talk to the staff, and he said something that really stuck with me for years and years and years, and even now, where he said every single person who comes into the restaurant has a sign on their forehead, an invisible sign on their forehead that says, I want to feel important. And I think that applies to so many situations, not just in business, but I think that also was like a really big piece of advice that was super moving to me, because yes, everyone does want to feel important because everyone is important. And I think that in starting a business and trying to do marketing and things like that, that can kind of get lost. So I would say those two pieces of advice have really stuck with me.
Well, because you brought up marketing, why is marketing important?
I think marketing is important because people want to know who you are as a business owner and as a person. And also they want to know more about your business, what you are offering, what you're sharing, and also why. Like, why are you offering this? Why are you sharing? Why did you start doing what you're doing? But marketing is, the way I see marketing is, I actually don't consider what I do and share as marketing. Because when I think of marketing, you know, because again, I didn't start baking to sell my pies. I didn't start baking to start a business.
Right. You did it as a love to like, this is something I'm passionate about and I want to share it. And
I
then
didn't
it became,
I didn't know I was passionate about it, though,
you didn't?
because I had never baked before, really. So during lockdown, you know, I was working. Previous to the lockdown, I was working at Archipelago, and I had been a server for like 20 years, basically. And then all of a sudden, I didn't have a job. I didn't have a reason to go outside. I wasn't allowed to go outside. I wasn't able to connect with family and friends. And so I'm like, what the fuck am I going to do?
Yeah.
Like, oh, I know. I'll make a pie. Pies? Why pies? People ask me that. And I'm like, I don't know. I want to try to make one. Like, I'm going to try to make one, and then I'll keep making different flavors, and I'll document it on Instagram, and it'll be like a fun little hobby, right? And then it became more than a hobby.
At what point did it start becoming more?
Probably.
You're on your Instagram page, people are following you. Now they probably want to taste what it is that you're making. So at what point did you transition that into more of a hobby?
Right. So lockdown happened in what? So 2020.
Yeah.
And it maybe took a few months because I had so many friends and connections in the restaurant industry who were starting food pop-ups. And I mean, so many people were starting pop-ups during that time. It was like the wild, wild west of pop-ups. And there were no rules being enforced. Like, none of us knew what the rules were, really.
Yeah.
And so I had a couple of friends doing a pop-up, dough baby, and I would trade with her. I'd be like, okay, I'll make you a pie, you give me some loaves of bread and pizza. Yeah. And then I had another friend, she does sankaku, and it was like, okay, I'll make you pies, you give me onigiri. It was like very much like let's trade.
A legit trade.
Yeah, I mean, I've always been that way, and even before baking. But so these two pop-up business owners at the time invited me to pop up with them. So it was like, just make a few pies, you can sell them. And so I think the first time was at Distant Worlds, and I popped up with Dough Baby, and I sold like, I don't know, 10 pies, but they sold in like 10 minutes. So I'm like, oh, okay. Like,
People were really responsive to your product.
Maybe this is a lucrative idea.
Yeah.
And then I did the second pop-up with sankaku, and it was the same thing. And I made even more than 10 pies. And then I think that's when the realization came where I think this could be a business.
All right, so before we do that, we'll get into this a little more, because we do want to get to know your business.
Sure.
This is a Day Drinking with CEOs episode. Joe had a great idea of we like old fashions, we like bourbon. He found an idea of making a chocolate chip old fashioned. So I wanted to try to duplicate that today. So with bourbon, a homemade chocolate chip syrup, kind of with what did I put in here? Sugar and water, heavier sugar to water ratio, a little bit of vanilla extract, vanilla bean, and cream de cacao. We're gonna put a little bit of chocolate liqueur, just probably like 0.25 ounces, chocolate bitters on an ice cube, and then garnish it with a cherry. So I will make that for everyone as we get to kind of figure out your business and everything, and kind of go from there. So
you started your pop-up, you've been to 2 now. The first time you sold out in 10 minutes, the second time you sold out, you started thinking, okay, now I can make this a business. What happened after that?
So basically I was selling out very often in the beginning, and I think it was because I was totally new. These were totally new flavors. They couldn't get these flavors anywhere else.
Right.
So it's that scarcity factor and
Fear of missing out almost.
FOMO.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, people still say that they have FOMO because it's like, oh, I showed up, but then you were sold out already. I mean, that doesn't happen every time, but pretty often. And so after that, I signed up for a business course. Oh, let me rewind. So before the business course, I did a huge collaboration project in October. So October of 2021.
Yeah.
With different Filipino-American businesses. So basically I partnered up with, oh my God, I forget the name, but it's a sparkling tea owned by Chris Patwa, who is Filipino-American.
Where are they based out of?
And it's also funded by Brad Pitt.
Are they based in the Bay Area? Oh, LA, okay.
I think LA, Long Beach. And so every weekend I had a different Filipino-American flavored pie with a different sparkling tea flavor because it was a Filipino-owned business. And the pop-up was at a different local Filipino-American business. So Archipelago, Musang, Good Sister, and Moto in West Seattle. And so I also collaborated with a designer who makes stickers, and she's Filipina, and she made a sticker inspired by the owner of the business. So every bundle was like a pie, a tea, and a sticker.
Yeah, a little package, like a
little
combo.
package every single weekend. I was doing the most. I'm never gonna do it again, but I think that it was a really great experience for me, and it was a way for me to like build relationships and really highlight the Filipino-American business community in Seattle because there are so many. And that was really great. So that happened, and then I was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I need like to learn
business.
I need something like legit. Like somebody needs to coach me. So I signed up for Entrepreneurship, which is an online business course for Filipina entrepreneurs. So then that happened. And then I think from then on, it was like, okay, I'm going to do everything legit now. I'm going to be more professional. Because I'm not a business person. Like, I don't know what I'm doing, you know, and that's where the marketing comes into play. Like, marketing is so important to my business. Even if I don't think of it as marketing, it's crucial to getting the word out and like just expanding my reach.
Right. So what do you do for marketing then? Or what do you consider marketing?
It's all marketing. I think. Like everything that I do for the business is marketing.
Or
if it's public facing, it's marketing.
let me re-ask that. What has worked best for you?
What has worked best for me? So I've been doing a lot of reels where I'm eating shit. So like if I just like eat my pies or my galettes and I'm talking about it, I think that is what gets the most engagement. But honestly, I do a lot of time lapses because it's easy, because it's like you set it and forget it.
Yeah, but it's also people could see the process. So maybe it's something they could go back to and they could replicate it. So if they wanted to try what you're trying, then they could watch it and they could pause it to see the different steps.
Yeah. I mean, they could absolutely do that. It's not such a technical video though, but they can see like what I'm doing in that moment,
And
because it's just
but if you mess up and then correct yourself, they also see that. So they can relate because they're trying it, they're messing up, and it's relatable content.
Right. And I think it's, messing up is like, you have to mess up to learn.
Yeah.
Right. And that's not just in a
there's
business
an authenticity.
sense.
You know what it is that other guests have said when you mess up, because we tell people create videos and people are afraid. People are afraid sometimes to show their vulnerability, but your vulnerability is what connects, because your vulnerability is so authentic as a business owner. Like when you make pies, you're taking risks of, I don't know if this will work, but I have a gut feeling. But you have to kind of trust yourself. But when people see that you're willing to try and trust, people are willing to take chances on it, especially with local businesses. Because we've seen that too with other guests who, it's a happy accident that they're like, I didn't know this is going to turn into a business, and then it blew up. Same thing with yours, like the impetus of, let's just choose pies, right? I don't know what the inspiration was. Maybe you watch Waitress late at night, or whatever.
I still haven't seen Waitress. I need to watch that.
But you have that. But I think people like that vulnerability, because they say it's a real person. That's why we like having like real guests now. Like, let's kind of break down the mentality of how you tick as a business owner, why you keep going. That's valuable to like other people who you may inspire. You never know. Someone's sitting there and always wanted to start something. Maybe it's not pies, maybe it's custom Rice Krispie treats or whatever it is, right? So.
What excites me about having you on the podcast today was just that. There's people out here, because usually our video content is just geared towards business owners. But you'll have the people out there that are bakers or cookers and they're like, how do I get my business started? So this is almost like you're a role model to that part of the audience, or a new audience.
Yeah, I'd like to think that I could maybe inspire people to go for what they want to do, even if it's hard or scary or financially not viable in their minds. But
Right.
I mean, to go back to like the vulnerability, I think, that is a big part of my marketing, or at least just sharing like my experience as a business owner.
Yeah.
And I also, like you were saying, Galen, like, I want people to see me as like a real person, like a human being.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not always trying to sell you stuff. Like, you can come to my pop-ups and just like meet me and like hang out. And if you want to buy a pie, maybe like go for it.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Joe,
Are you gonna join us now? Or are you gonna stand up still?
I'll stand up.
You don't want to join us?
Elin, come on.
I'm
Come
joining
sit with
right
us.
here.
Snuggle up
My
with me
cookies
in
are
the
what I'm
couch.
about to
Mark,
fall
are you
over.
gonna drink with us? What's happening?
So here's the chocolate chip old fashioned with bourbon, the simple syrup, a little chocolate liqueur, finished with Aztec chocolate bitters, and a cherry. Of course, we got to get the Luxardo cherry, so don't go fake, go big or go home. So cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
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 Thank you.
I like how there's a hole in the
Yeah. All right, Joe.
Oh,
cheers.
can I mention the cookies?
Yes, sorry. I'm mid sip, so.
Is this like a dessert drink, Galen?
I like that.
It's not even too strong either.
I'm a bourbon gal, so
And this is 90 proof bourbon, by the way.
it's what?
90 proof bourbon.
Holy shit. Cool. So this is also garnished with a cookie from Siembra. I share a kitchen with the owner, Alex Doros, and he gave me a bunch of these corn masa chocolate chip cookies. And yeah, they're delicious. So this is another thing about me, which is weird. Like, another weird thing about me is that I don't love sweet stuff usually. I don't really like dessert.
Oh, you don't?
And yet
Which is tough
I
because
make so many dessert pies. And people are like, that's really interesting. Like, and then you were asking me, like, then how do you know if it's good? How do you know if a dessert pie is good?
You're still gonna taste what you're making.
I can still taste, like, I can tell when something tastes good, but I'm not going to eat it. I'm not going to eat the whole pie.
Right.
And I do really love fruit. So when I make fruit pies, it's like, okay, this is good to me, and I don't want to make it too sweet. So all of my sweet pies normally and typically are not as sweet as, like, say a standard pie that you're going to get at Costco or whatever.
So you're really doing it because you have a passion for baking, but you previously, like you said, you doing it to make people important, to make them or understand that the people are important that you're baking for. I mean, like I grill, but when I grill for like our family that comes over, I don't usually eat. I enjoy grilling, and I enjoy grilling for the people.
And you're the last one to eat.
I'm the last one to eat, but I
feel
enjoy,
like a lot of cooks and chefs are like that.
Yeah, I enjoy doing it because I like making something I like to make for people, and you're essentially
like
you're doing
making
the same
for
thing.
other people.
Yeah,
but also making it for myself. I mean, like, even if it's, especially the Filipino flavors.
right.
Yeah, but
Have you done sig in a pie yet?
Sisi?
Yeah.
I want to. Yeah, but the thing is, like, how do you keep it crispy if it's inside a pie? I think I'd have to make it like a galette or like a garnish.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
There's still a lot of things that I want to try out.
So real quick about the cocktail, I'm wearing my Fuse Network stuff. So I'm gonna try to connect how this chocolate chip cookie old fashioned is similar to Fuse Networks. So similar to your IT for any business, you may have different ingredients or a recipe of different things. So for a business, you may have your infrastructure, what people use for their apps, internet and everything. And similar to a cocktail recipe, you could have all the ingredients, but just if you put everything once without the right kind of ratios, it may not come out right always. It could be, the cocktail could be too strong, too sweet. Similar to your IT programs, you could, just because you buy all the best computers, the best router, software, it may not, you still may have gaps. So finding the right balance of putting the right amount of bourbon, sweetener, bitters, using the right ice cubes, the right ice, everything comes together in a cocktail, similar to how your stuff should come for your business and your IT assets and resources. So contact Fuse Networks for a free assessment, and let them make the perfect balance of your IT infrastructure for your home, similar to this chocolate chip cookie old fashioned.
Good job.
Cheers.
So talk to me about the other cookies that are on the table.
Yes, so, these are not Siembra's cookies.
No.
These on top?
These are from Dream Bakery next door.
But we have them here because I didn't want to.
I see.
I didn't want to put the hole in them, and if they're going to crack, the consistency. But we have them on the table. So.
Okay, I take it back.
Yeah.
These cookies are not from Siembra. But these cookies are. I was wondering why it didn't taste like corn masa.
Yeah,
So these.
I have.
Yeah, let's try these together. So these cookies are corn masa cookies from Siembra, which is a Peruvian Colombian pop-up business owned by Alex Doros, and I share the commissary kitchen with him in Lake City. So these are made with purple corn, and there are chocolate chips in it. And I really like them because they're not very sweet. Again, like, I'm not a sweet person. I'm not a sweets lover.
Right.
And so I'm not really a cookie person, but I like these.
It's almost, what do they use masa for?
Arepas.
Say that again.
Arepas. So it's a Peruvian, Colombian
Do you
dish.
use it in like empanadas?
It's kind of like an empanada, but not closed. So you like can slice it and then put different fillings in it.
It's delicious.
This.
Yes.
Yes.
Like it isn't.
You should try his arepas
It
then.
isn't very sweet. You do get the masa flavor. I taste more masa in it and less sweet, but I
Yeah.
think it's delicious.
It's really good.
What I also liked about you is you brought something to here to showcase other businesses. So you're like,
Yeah, I tend to do that.
You believe in the community that you're in.
Well, talk to us about
I believe in all the communities I'm in.
the Palengke,
Yep.
because that's essentially sharing other businesses, highlighting it that you've had in the
Yes.
past. And
So when we started the Palengke,
so for people that don't know what that means, because it's a word that people may not spell correctly, or know how to Google Translate. Can you explain what it is, its meaning, please?
Of course. So the Palengke, the word itself means market. In the Philippines, it means a wet market, which connotes, fish vendors, produce, things where they have to keep the ground wet at all times. Palenque in Spanish also means market. So I think in adding the to that signifies like most Filipino Americans, or a lot of Filipino Americans, don't speak Tagalog. And so that Taglish element was like really important for me to have in the name. And basically we started it because I realized that there are so many Filipino American business owners in Seattle alone. And I really wanted to highlight them. And then because coming out of lockdown, it was like, we should have a space. We should have an opportunity to gather, uplift each other's businesses, and also like commune. Like, let's get together. Everyone was craving physical or connection in real life.
They were.
So it was just, timing was really great. The family who owns Stonehouse on Rainier Beach, Max was really the one who like took a chance on us and said, hey, you can use our space. We're not even going to charge you because this is something that the community needs. He was basically like, we're family now. And so the Palenque, though, right now is going through a rebrand. So it is going to be called by another name. I'm not going to reveal that right now, but I will be making an announcement soon. And
please come on when you have that information ready.
I will. And I also got a grant for the new Palenque, and that will be utilized for the first event next year in June, again at Stonehouse, because I really just want to always pay tribute to Max and his family for hosting us. Giving us a chance and really like jump-starting our journey in, bless you, in this like Filipino-American like community, movement.
Because when you guys have had it there, are there like 8 or 10 vendors you've had? I know you, or less than? More?
Like 20.
Okay. I know you've had like your kuyas, the food.
Oh yeah.
He's my godbrother, actually.
Really? Yeah, he's really close to Max, and I love Chris so much.
Yeah.
He's just so supportive, and he's always like, whatever you're doing, count me in. And that's, I think, the familial sense that Filipino Americans have when they meet each other. You're just automatically family. And I know all of you Pinoys know what I'm talking about. You meet another Pinoy and you're like, all right, you're in your family, like, let me know how to support.
So the next step for Grayseas Pie specifically, the next 2 to 5 years, where do you see your business? Or if it's not that far.
Dude, I can't even think about tomorrow.
So for the next year,
yes, where would you like to see your business be? Or let me rephrase that. Is there a business out there you're looking to collaborate with that you haven't yet, maybe? As a kind of a next step? Okay.
Oh my God.
So the next year is really You're good. The next year is collaboration. What are some of the companies that you're looking to collaborate with?
I mean, collaborations are always a goal, and it's always a part of my business model. Who do I want to work with, really? I want to work with Moto again. So he was one of the first mentors I had, really, and he was one of the first business owners that let me use his venue for pop-ups. And I know he has like a creative kitchen now where he's like recording videos and really workshopping with other businesses. So I'd like to collaborate with him. I would also like to collaborate with the Pizza Gallery again for this October for Filipino American History Month. I helped him develop the lechon pizza, and so basically it's mang tomas as the base instead of tomato sauce, and then cheese and lechon, and then a side of more among the Mas.
Yeah.
So that was really successful, I think. But I'd like to create a different pizza flavor, a different like Filipino-American pizza flavor for this October. So those two off the top of my head, but I mean, I'd love to collaborate with everyone. So if you want to collaborate, like please contact me.
To that point, what's the best way for people to connect with you, find out who you are? Website, Instagram, what are your preferred ways of contact?
Yeah, so I do have a website. It's grayseaspies.com, but I think the best way to reach me is on Instagram, and it's just at grayseas.pies.
And how do you spell Gracie for people that may not know?
It's spelled Grayseas pies. And a lot of people are like, oh, it's like an ode to Seattle. And I'm like, no, it was actually based off of my personal Instagram. It was just Grayseas, but it was supposed to be read as like Gracie S, like
right.
S for my last name. But you know, it could be for Seattle.
Yeah. That sells.
And I prefer Instagram just because that's where I started.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can email me too. info@grayseaspies.com, but yeah, I always respond. I'm pretty good at responding. So
Have you ever thought about doing a cooking class where you teach people how to make the pies you're already making? One thing, it's extra revenue piece, right, for the business, but then you're also sharing.
That is a good idea. I did a cooking class for, oh my God, I don't remember the name, but it was maybe Traditional Kitchens, something online, and I taught people how to make pecan pie, because that's pretty easy. But I would love to teach people how to make Filipino-inspired pies.
Not the regular
pies.
Right.
Like the pantry style, you know how they do classes at the pantry, but maybe not as like fancy.
You know, if you didn't have a cooking class, it's an easy way to create a podcast to do an episode of here's how to do
make
a pie.
stuff.
Yeah.
How to make this pie.
Yeah, I've been wanting to create like a YouTube. You want to be my producer?
Oh, we know one.
We got one.
Oh, Mark, you want to produce my? Okay, so I have been wanting to venture into YouTube, because then also maybe I can monetize that, but not that money is really like the goal for Gracie's Pies.
No, but it helps.
It does help to sustain a business, yeah. But yeah, YouTube, it's just like, I just haven't had time to like even start, and I want to do it right, or I want to do it as best as I can.
Right.
And so yeah, I'm just not there yet, but that is like a goal for sure. Maybe by the end of the year, maybe a 2025 goal. Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
It's not too bad. It's only 5 months from now.
Yeah, I can do it in 5 months, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, Mark, you want to help me? Because you're not busy enough, I'm sure.
But it's always great to have a local guest in studio and kind of break it down, especially we're more relaxed having a cocktail. So thanks for joining us and sharing the idea of my co-host, the chocolate chip cookie old fashioned. But on behalf of our sponsors, A Advanced Services, Fuse Networks, and Warrior Injury Law, my name is Galen.
I'm Joe.
Coming at you from the Creative Block Studios in Seattle, Washington. Shout out to Mark, our producer, Gracie for being in studio. Thanks everyone for watching and tuning into this episode of the Ask Valor Masterminds podcast. Thanks for tuning in, guys. And call Fuse Networks for your free assessment. So, cheers.